Welcome to the AI Researcher Subreddits series, where we bring model training discussions to life. If transformers were invented in a company of anthropic OpenAI characteristics, would other labs ever reverse engineer them? I'm wondering, how obvious would it be how our LLMs work just by observing their outputs? Would scientists just say from first looks, oh, attention mechanisms are in place and working wonders, let's go this route? Or quite the opposite, scratching heads for years? I think with Sonnet, we have such a situation right now. It clearly has something in it that can robustly come to neat conclusions in new broken scenarios, and we scratch our heads for half a year already. Closed research is disgusting, and I'm glad Google published Transformers. And I hope more companies will follow on this ideology.
There is a company called Liquid.ai that doesn't use transformers. They let us know what they are working on from a worm brain-influenced foundation model's perspective by patenting the crap out of things. I think the prospect of a huge hidden trade secret runs so much risk that the patent office would likely be our tell.
The idea that if someone were to actually make a huge leap forward in AI, patents would stop other companies, especially in other countries, from using the same approach is pretty funny. They clearly haven't thought this through. There is way too much at stake for patents to mean anything when push comes to shove. I'm sure investors know that as well. Nobody will pay trillions for their patent portfolio, even if they create AGI. In fact, especially if they create AGI.
Having worked on a deep tech company that submitted lots of patents, most of it was a show for investors based on ideas that weren't really developed yet. It's really hard to enforce patents on abstract ideas. The idea that someone makes a real algorithmic breakthrough in AI and immediately patents it is as counterproductive as a hedge fund discovering a trading strategy and patenting it. By creating a patent, you've just exposed it to the world.
The original Transformers paper came out in 2017. OpenAI released GPT-2 in 2019, almost 2 years later. Nobody thought that paper would be so revolutionary, not even the original authors, despite grasping its importance. If you're asking what would happen if an AI lab came out with a new architecture now, my money would be on this new architecture being released as a curiosity, and people realizing its true potential some years later. In the rare event that its real potential is immediately obvious, I bet it gets leaked in under 1 year of the first model being made available, be that by a disgruntled employee, espionage, or good old malicious hacking.
Unless purposefully obfuscated, one would notice quadratic dependency between the output length and response time. That would hint towards using attention, which already existed. And another hot topic at the moment were convolutional textual models, which are so very close to transformers architecture-wise. Convolutions instead of attention, plus a few differences. So perhaps someone could have reinvented something alike to transformers from those hints and pieces.
Attention was already used for many years before the transformers with LSTMs and GRUs. The leap to get rid of the LSTM layers and just use attention with MLPs is, as revolutionary as it sounds, is kind of a natural progression. Attention and the memory mechanisms of LSTMs perform basically the same function, keeping track of previous time steps. Why have two mechanisms that do the same thing? I think it's more in the execution of the idea that Google shined with the Transformers paper, with positional encodings and multi-head attention as other innovations. It's not entirely obvious how you exactly get rid of recurrent layers that were bottlenecking the language models of the day. I still think it would have been independently discovered in 3 to 5 years if kept closed, but used in a public-facing application like ChatGPT.